Welcome to another episode of the Sipping and Tripping podcast, where we connect with amazing people. Today's conversation is about fatherhood, faith, masculinity, and healing. I am your host, Desmond Black, and today we got two independent, strong Black men that are devoted fathers. We got Mr. Chef Dennis, host of From the Battle to the Glory podcast, and Mr. Rodney Glover, host of Dad Mentality podcast. How y'all doing today, and how was y'all week so far?
Man, I'm doing great. What about you, Chef?
I'm on fire right now. Fire. Let's go, man.
That's good. It's good. It's always good when we high spirited, And as you guys know, on my platform, I like to conversate, educate, and entertain. And today, I just want us to be able to speak from the heart. I want to have a raw, honest, and powerful conversation. And like I said, we spoke prior to me going live, and it's a lot of positive energy in the room right now, and I just want to keep that up and encourage everybody, and just hopefully we deliver a message that everybody can resonate with. All right. So without further ado, let's get into it a little bit. Let's talk about fatherhood a little bit. Let's talk about growing up without a blueprint and healing our families with intentional love. Now, when I say that, what comes to y'all's mind?
Well, for me, I definitely, I had somewhat of a blueprint, but my father died when I was 11 years old, and when I had my first son, when he turned 11, I sat there and told him when on it was kind of a deep conversation at the time, but it was the truth. I was like, I just want to let you know at this point, I'm winging it, bro. So if I'm not perfect, forgive me. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But all I can tell you I'm gonna do from this point on is do my best, and I promised I'll do that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
But this point on, I did not have a father. You know what I'm saying? I did not have that role figure. Unfortunately, when my dad died, I thought he was just a glorified chauffeur. I didn't
Mm.
realize how much he did for me. I mean, he picked me up from school, he took me to my games and stuff like that, and I was like, yeah, he's cool. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? But I didn't realize how important it was until I became an adult, and until I had my own child. And when
Right.
he did die, I was so naive. I actually thought he was coming back. I didn't realize that death was forever when he first died. You know what I'm saying? And I actually started changing and doing things that I know he liked. Like I started playing football because my dad liked football. And I was like,
Right. Right.
well, if I start playing football, then he's going to come see me play. You know what I'm saying? If I become good, I became good. I was all Metro. I was I was the captain of my football team. I was leading tackler, leading sacks. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, yeah, he's going to come to my game and see me. And unfortunately, we all know that didn't happen. But it took me until I was almost 18 years old to realize that my dad was not coming back. So,
Mm.
you know,
That's tough. What
yeah.
about you, Chef? Talk about how growing up without a blueprint to healing our families with intentional love. Unless you feel like you grew up with a blueprint, I mean.
I really, I, Rodney going, he about to get at me, but yeah, I did. I had a good supporting cast. My grandmother, my father, and my mom's too. You know, but I look at life a little different now. So, but as a child, I was always getting to stuff. And so when I look back over my life, what I mean, my dad he worked hard. I seen how he provide. He didn't spend a lot of time, in the house because he was always working. But he did show love. And I think the biggest part is that him just putting me in church and we either play the drums, the organ. So, it was a family base for me. And so I had a good blueprint, the relationship with God. And after that, I took a little turn. And, my parents, they kept me like, well, I would say my parents, my father, when I moved with my father, he kept me, from doing certain things. So, was no friends coming over the house. It was just everything was family. So, if I spent the night, it was somebody in the family. It wasn't no friends, nobody calling the house says Dennis coming out to play. None of that. It was strictly like church and going over family house and stuff like that. So, now when I look at life as a parent, I was real adamant about being in my children's life, my daughter's life. When they was doing stuff, I was active, present. When I mean active and present, like when they did anything, I was always there. Like I took off work and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna be there. So it was ballet, it was tap, I'm there. My daughter was going to see me there. So whatever it was, basketball, she's going to see me there. So I was so into everything. Volleyball, she did volleyball, basketball, cheerleader. I was there. I was sitting always on the sideline supporting. Hey, let's go. Real active, real hype. That's this type of person I was, growing up, hyper. I was hyper. And so I was real active with my kids, like just always being there for them, you know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, man, that I feel like if I'm gonna give somebody a blueprint, I'm going to tell them to be active and present. What does that mean? Being active and present, not just a provider. When they're doing something, you always there. You wanted their greatest supporter because we need that. That's that battery in their back that they need. So, I tell fathers to be active and present. Don't just think about just financing and doing those things. You got to be there, sitting there, having dinner with them, having conversations with them, whether it's a male or female, having those serious conversations. So when they get out in the world, and the world can't tell them something different that mommy and daddy has taught them, and we don't like to use this word train, but train them up in the right way, because the world will train you up in the wrong way, tell you what's good and what's bad, and it's not really the idea of what it's supposed to be for that child or that individual. And so when you say blueprint, that's what I would tell them, man. A father, a brother, is be active and present. Present of showing love, encouraging. Even those tough conversations, having those tough conversations that dads don't want to have with their daughters. And so, that would be my blueprint for most men.
So I'm glad you said that, right? Because for me, I think as fathers, right, it's not about being perfect. It's about being present, as you just alluded to, right? It's about being present, not perfect, because we all gonna have our bumps and bruises. We all gonna go through trials and tribulations. It's just a way of life. Now, as far as a blueprint, I didn't grow up with a blueprint. My father was off and on drug addict. He was in and out of our lives. Uh, I stayed with him during the summertime, stay with our mother during the school year, and so when he was sober, he was present when I was living with him, right? Like it's a lot of things that at the time I didn't want to listen to, but I took heed to as I got older, and I think that goes for all of us, right? Once we reach adulthood, and as far as our mother, for the most part, my childhood, she worked two jobs, so she wasn't present, right? And without her presence, I can't say she gave me a blueprint, right? So me and Jarvis, we basically ran amok. We basically did our own thing, and we took advantage of whoever was watching us, right? I remember when we lived in Delaware, it was a woman that was wheelchair bound, and we knew she couldn't get up and chase us around and stuff. So if she said, "Don't do this," we did it anyways. She said, "Don't go outside," we went outside anyways. So in hindsight, it was a wrong thought process and it was fucked up. But that's what happened, And then anybody else, like as far as like in Delaware and stuff, they was either family or they felt like family, and they didn't really care. They thought that kind of stuff and that behavior was funny. So growing up, I didn't have a blueprint, right? I think once I got into high school, my freshman year, that's when my father tried to implement some kind of blueprint, right? He tried to show us the way, and he did a great job when he was sober. But it's when he wasn't sober, it's when it was dysfunction. And when your parents are not together, that creates chaos anyways, because it's two different parenting styles. Um, but now that I'm older, we talk about that intentional love. I have four kids now, three sons, one daughter, and I try to lead with intentional love. I try to shower them with love, and I try to show them the best way I possibly can. I'm a little rough around the edges, so am I perfect? No, but then again, I said being a parent, being a father, being a man is not about being perfect. It's about being present. So that's what I have to say to that. Um, any other thoughts on that?
No, I mean, I definitely agree with both of y'all. It's definitely about being present, because
Right.
perfection is the word I'm gonna use. Like, for instance, my son now is 25 years old, and he tells me now I'm getting the things you were telling me when I was a teenager.
Mm,
Now I'm starting to understand and process when the things that you were telling me, because at 16 I thought you were just being and I'll just be blunt. My son said I just thought you were just being an asshole. You know
right.
what I'm saying? But in reality, now that I am in my adult years, and this happened to me for me too, with a lot of the things that you're being taught when you're young. When you're being taught when you're being young, you think your parents are being mean.
Hmm.
You think they're just doing it just because they can, and all this other kind of stuff. When you become an adult, it actually, like, those tools and those things that they put in actually become necessary. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? They actually become a tool or a reason why you still have your job, because you know why? Because your dad was hard on you. So your boss don't bother you. You know what I'm saying? Like him saying something to you don't bother you at all. Like my dad, for me personally, my son be like, yeah, my dad would have slapped me in the back of my head and dragged me down the hallway half the time. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so him giving me the feedback doesn't bother me. You know what I'm saying? And even my son talks about the other people in his the my son called me and thanked me one day, because
Right.
my son started his working career with me. He worked with me. Me and him worked in the kitchen together. You know what I'm saying? And I taught him how to process things, how to work things, how to what you call it. And then when things go wrong, not to panic. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Desmond, I know you a cook and chef calls himself a chef. But when you in that kitchen and
Yeah.
that ticket machine is not, and you got 15 tickets down the joint. I told him, hey, relax, breathe for a second, look at all the tickets, start working all the things that you can get out right now, make sure your timing is right, stuff like that. And then he's like, now when he's at work and everybody else is panicking, he's still
Right.
using that process of taking his time, mentally getting everything correct, get it all done, this, that, and the other. I said, because if you sit here and you don't take the time to process it and you make a mistake, then you're going to spend double or triple amount of time trying to fix the mistake. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So make sure you process it. But my son called me and thanked me for that. You know what I'm saying? Thank me for yelling at him to calm the, you in the kitchen. So I ain't gonna lie. Back then, I'm working on my cursing. So but back then I'd be like, nah, calm down. Like, no, we're not doing that. Relax. Here we go. Okay,
Right.
these are the first tickets we need to get out. Do this, do that, blah, blah, blah. And we did it like that. I was never in the kitchen crying, or panicking. I've seen people melt down, son.
Oh
You
yeah.
know what I'm saying?
I seen that
Like,
a lot. Yeah.
yeah. So, I was just like, nah, I never melted down. It didn't matter how many tickets was there. I was still moving. I was moving fast and making sure that I got stuff correct, so I didn't have to do it again. Because the biggest
Right.
problem is when you got to do something again, that can totally screw you up. You know what I'm saying?
Good
So
time.
so that was, the biggest thing. And my son called me and thanked me for that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's just about being as present and being the best as you can. And a lot of times you're teaching them lessons for later, not for today. So
Absolutely. One thing I used to say growing up was, when people talk about their parents and what a perfect parent looks like, right? I used to often tell people, like, as long as you have a parent that's still trying, right? They're a good parent. As long
right.
as they're trying to do things to the best of their ability, to me, that's a great parent, because they didn't give up on themselves or you. You know what I'm saying?
I
And
agree.
as long as you do your best, it's the only thing we can ask for. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, I my dad has a lot of faults, but I say a great dad because when he was there, when he was coherent and he was active, like I mean, he was very active, and he taught me a lot of things that as an adult now I'm looking at it like, damn, okay, that's a perfect role model in that moment for me to emulate him and instill certain things in my kids.
Yeah.
You know, same thing with my mother. She got her faults.
Yeah. I also told my child, yeah, keep the good, get rid of the bad.
Yeah.
Shout out to Allison. I see you. Hello, Allison. Trying to get them to understand in the moment isn't always the easiest. They will understand eventually, though. True that.
I mean, that's for anybody.
That. Jeff, you okay over there, man? You look like you in the corner or something. You good?
I'm listening to you, brothers.
Oh, my bad. I know we talking about the kitchen, and you may not have that much experience in that. I got
you. He used to run in the show too, so he's sitting back like, "Oh, should I get in? He playing double dutch right now." That's what that is.
Yeah. He looked like he a little frustrated. It's all right though, man.
I'm far from frustrated. When it's time for me to chime in, ding, he gonna hit the bell. So don't worry, I got you.
Okay.
All right, well, that brings me to my next question. For both of y'all. Hold on, let's see what the comments say.
Trinity here said, my parents are the best in my eyes. I know they are. They definitely love.
And as long as they're still in your corner doing what they need to do, they should be. They should be the best. So let me ask y'all this: what is the biggest myth that society has on Black fathers that we're tired of? The biggest myth that society put on Black fathers that we're sick and tired of.
Chef, you want to go first? You've been quiet, bro.
Nah,
yeah, you go first.
Y'all don't want me to answer that.
Yeah, I do. Ask the question, man.
I'm gonna be real. Like, I'm being honest. Like, growing up, I just like social media for me wasn't a big thing. So I really can't say and speak about that because at the end of the day, I had a great father. And so, I didn't have other men around me that said, oh, my father not here. Everybody that I knew and grew up, all the fellas, they had their dad with them. So I really didn't experience that. Like I said, my dad kept me and my brothers, sheltered. So it was always either with my uncles or my dad. So I really didn't see that. You know what I'm saying? Even the family that my father married to is that they had their dad growing up. And so that's all I saw was, so I only know family oriented. I know that. So that's why I really can't speak about that. So I really don't know. Now that I'm older, I see small things. I really don't entertain negativity. So I really can't speak on that. And I'm being honest and transparent. Like I really can't because I don't have those conversations. You know what I'm saying? Unless somebody's talking to me about it. Go ahead, D.
What I was going to say is, it's not about engaging into the negativity. It's about what you hear as well. Like you live like me and Rodney did. So I'm pretty sure you hear certain myths or stigmas that's put out there on Black fathers, right? I'm not saying you have to engage in conversation or partake in that, but I know you hear certain things, right? Like, so I'm pretty sure it's things you hear that you're sick of.
You tell me, and then if I heard it, I was like, "Oh, yeah, I did."
All right, well, I'll talk about it then. I'm sorry. I started my whole podcast on the premise of this, and that is the premise that there are no good men, and there are no good dads. You know what I'm saying? And that was mainly in I'm not saying that, I'm being honest here, but you hear from women, there's no good men out there. You hear there's no good dads out here. There's no good things like that. And I was sitting there, I was like, well, who are you looking for? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, who are you looking for? Because they're out there. You know what I'm saying? In my child's school, when they start the school year, the dads do that. All the dads come out to do that little like tunnel thing. It's like some kind of tunnel. All of them stand out and the kids run through the tunnel and they cheer them as school starts. There's 300 dads out there. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, yo, so like I can take you to places where we at. I don't know where you're going. You know what I'm saying? Right. And I don't know what you're doing. And I don't know what kind of person that you are. And then I asked the question to them. I was like, well, how come you attract these men? Because they're out there. The men that don't do these things that you're saying that they don't do, that they're not good men, that they're not this. How come you find all of them?
Right.
That's my question. Like, because I can find men that are good men, that are good fathers. I know plenty of them. You know what I'm saying? Now, my question to you is, how come you find all the men that aren't? What are you doing that makes that happen? And a lot of people don't want to have that said to them. And but I say that same thing to men who say that there's no good women out here. I say the same thing to them. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, what are you doing that you attract only these women? You know what I'm saying? Because apparently they out there, because there's plenty of married, happy people in this world. You know what I'm saying? But why do you only attract these type of people? Because a lot of people don't want to look at themselves. The easy excuse is to say, oh, they're not out there. You know what I'm saying? That's the easy excuse to say, oh, it doesn't exist. Oh, this doesn't happen. Oh, well, what kind of environment are you creating that this is the only people that you bring in? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but the thing about it, and people hate it, and I say this for both men and women, so I'm not targeting one of either out. You know what I'm saying? I'm targeting the person that says it. You know what I'm saying? So there's men that say there's no good women, and there's women that say there's no good men. You know what I'm saying? I'm targeting that person. Well, how come you don't love yourself to the point that you indulge in these people who don't give you what you say you don't have? You know what I'm saying? Like, because there's a lot of people who don't have that issue. You know what I'm saying? But you want to sit there, and then what happens is a lot of them crowd themselves together. Like, I only know good fathers. I don't know these guys that don't. I know guys that are not with their baby mothers. I know guys who've been through divorce. I know who are this, that, and other, and all of them are still good fathers. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter if they're not with her. It don't matter if it's this. It don't matter if it's that. They are still good fathers. So, my thing is this: you didn't just find out that this man was not good 3 years in. You knew it from the beginning. You just ignored the what you call it. Why are you ignoring it? Why are you taking these things? Like, you got to take some accountability for the people you involve in bringing your life. So that's how I feel about it. If that answers your question.
I just want to piggyback off that for a little bit, man. Like, I was actually talking to my therapist about it. I don't know how we got into the conversation, but I'm tired of women saying that it ain't no good men out there, because we out here, right? We just not looking for you. That's what it is. Because you set your bar too high. You set these unrealistic expectations for yourself, and so therefore you attract the wrong type of man. So the perception, the image that a lot of women have in their head of what a good man is, they looking for a perfect man. They looking for things that's not even in this universe, right? So we're out here, we're just not looking in your direction because you're setting the bar way too high and it's unrealistic, right? So I just want to piggyback off of that. And then I know Mr. Adam Wilson, he said, if you're toxic, you attract toxic, right? Like, exactly. Okay, I somewhat agree with that. Not necessarily. I mean, because I've dealt with a lot of toxic women, and I'm far from toxic. So
okay, we'll agree to disagree on that. We'll agree to disagree on that, but
let's go back. Now that's no, I gotta correct you on that, man. You can
Let's go, Chef.
This ain't got nothing to do because you my brother. No. Yeah. That is absolutely right. Only listen, positive plus a positive equals a positive. Negative plus a negative equals a negative. I don't care how you want to fix it up. I don't care how you want to dress it up. If you're a negative person, you're going to attract negativity, period. Because your mindset is just, everything is going to bother you. You irritable, you aggravated, and small things aggravate you. So
but
now
that'll make you toxic.
No, yes, it does, because guess what? You can't get out of your own feelings, your own emotions, and so you react on your emotions based on how you feeling right there at that moment. You feeling like that. Hey, hold on, but check this out though. Watch this. Just think about. Watch this. This is a fact. What they say about when people drink, the truth come out, and so guess what? If you that type of person that get upset And some women like that. They like, oh, I like that. Oh, he rough. I like it like that. So guess what? That's on the interview. And so you portraying that and they attracted to that. So guess what? It's not about what you talking about when you calm. Let's talk about the inner you. The inner you, if that's you, it's going to attract the negativity. It's going to attract the toxicity in you, because guess what? They like that. And women are like that. They like that stuff. Let's not get it twisted. They really do. And so guess what? The real you gonna come out. You be like, yeah, who is? You gonna come out like a monster. And they like, oh, I like it when you talk like that. Come on, let's keep it real, fellas. Let's keep it real. Go ahead, Rodney. Come on, chime on in.
No, I'm not disagreeing with you, but here's the thing I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say that we all have toxicity. We all have it. There's not one person on this earth that doesn't have toxic attributes or traits or things that they are attracted to that are toxic. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has it. It's something different in a certain way. Now it's about whether that controls your life or not. It's about whether or not that is something. Some people, because of your toxicity, sometimes your toxicity controls you. And sometimes you can be toxic. You like everybody has it, but are you in control of what is toxic? You know what I'm saying? Are you in control of that? Are two different things.
Hey, give me an example of toxic, Ronnie. Give me an example of toxic, bro.
What do you mean? Like, I mean, I'm toxic. I mean, I can only talk for myself.
All right. So what about you that's toxic? Can you give me an example?
I run to the smoke. I run to it. When somebody got a problem, something's issue, I'm here. Like, I could easily choose to say, nah, I don't have to indulge or whatever the case may be. Nah, I have a problem. It is a for real problem for me. Okay. I cannot address something when somebody addresses me. I can't just walk away. I know I need to walk away. I be trying to walk away. Like, I be like, okay, you know what? I'm not even going to do it. Blah, 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 this, that, and the other. But somehow I just I'll start walking away and then come right back. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm ready for that smoke. And it's no reason. It's no need. It's not even a good thing. You know what I'm saying? It's not. But it's my weakness. You know what I'm saying?
That's not toxicity. That's not toxic.
No, wait. That is toxic. That is toxic.
Okay. Because guess what? Hold up. I'm going to change it up. And you say it's toxic. It's not toxic. You just want to be combative. That's what you want to do. You got to rebuttal. You got to rebuttal on something that you just said it. You could turn away, but you be like, you know what? Nah, I'm gonna entertain that. But that comes with look.
But he said every situation that's toxic.
Huh? He didn't say every situation. He said he gonna turn around.
It's every situation, bro. It's everything for me. It's everything. I always say, and I admit it, and I work. I try to work on it, but it's the same reason why I like when people come at me. I'm good. Like, I get excited. There's a reason why Malik Bey is still in all my comments. You know what I'm saying? Because he knows I'm going to run to the smoke. He knows when he put his comment in there, I'm looking. I got something to say. You know what I'm saying? And certain people, that is a flaw, and people can use that flaw against me. It is a flaw, bro. It ain't it's a toxic flaw, because and people do use it against me because they know I'm going to respond. You know what I'm saying? They know it.
They take the little pin and they keep plucking. That's all. They want to get under your skin. They want to aggravate you. That's it. Because you saying it out your mouth, and when you say it, guess what? Now they know how to attack you. But if you don't say that, how can they attack you? How can you say I'm gonna run to the smoke? You letting people know, hey, I'm ready. I want that smoke, instead of being quiet and saying, you know what? All right, okay, being humble.
That's the problem with running to the smoke, bro.
Yeah, I know.
You don't see it,
right?
And the whole essence of what you're saying is
you're gonna get what you're looking for. You're gonna get what you're looking for.
No, I look for it. I know. Even I gotta get it. I search it out.
So look, you just validating what I'm saying.
I don't feel like I was disagreeing with you with what I said. I said you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is, I'll go in search for. You asked me this question, right? Am I tripping, Desmond? Didn't he ask me how I was toxic, and then I said,
you gave him an example, and then he disagreed initially. He said that's not toxic.
That's toxic. So, that's toxic.
But I was about to say, because part of growth and development as an individual is know when to get in, when to get out, right? Know when to stay and when to fold them. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta find that balance, right? You know, you don't have to engage in every conflict and every conversation, right? Like it's part of growth and maturity. You know what I'm saying? So that would be a toxic trait to always, no matter what, be like, oh, I want to smoke. You know what I'm saying? Because that can escalate somewhere else.
I'll be in conversations that don't even involve me, and I'll be like, hold up, wait a minute. I'm not gonna let you just say that all willy-nilly like it don't mean nothing. I hop in conversations all the time, you know. It's just like I give people opinions all the time that don't ask me. They ain't asked me for a thing. They ain't asked me for a thing. But I got no problem with giving you my opinion, especially if I know my opinion is right. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, but but the thing about it that makes it toxic is that it runs me. I don't run it. And that's what I'm talking about, toxicity. Toxicity is when you don't run it, it runs you. So you know what I'm saying?
Run into the smoke runs you. Yeah.
I'm getting better at it. Okay. But yes, it does.
It runs you, controls you. Huh? Rodney, what you want to do? What you talking about? You be like, yo, all right, what you want? Oh, okay, I got something for you.
It'll snatch me right on up. I'll be trying my best, and then next thing you know, I'll just be like, hold on. Hey, let me just say one thing real quick. You know what I'm saying? Like, hold on, let me just say, and I hop on in it. It's the whole reason why I joined your show.
Right.
Wow.
Because I'm just joking, bro. I don't know. I didn't even know where to go with it. I was just trying to get get some smoke out of you. See how you didn't engage? That would be my problem.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. I think if he heard you, he probably would have.
I heard him. Look, hey Rodney, I'm that eagle, you that crow.
Oh my God.
There you go. You see that? Now he tried to do. Yeah. You see that?
I'm
good.
So to answer the question I had put out there before, like one of the biggest myth about society that society says about black men is I think somebody else said it earlier in the comments, but about how black fathers are not present in their kids' lives, right? And like Rodney said earlier, like everybody he knows are active fathers, right? Like everybody that I know are active fathers, because you know one thing about humanity and people is we tend to flock around like-minded people, right? It's like what Chef said last year on the podcast about tax bracket. You don't see rich people hanging out with poor people. You know, it's just a difference. We can't relate. So when we're good fathers, when we're active fathers, we can't relate to somebody that's
I can't hang out with a person that is not a good father. I can't. I wouldn't.
Yes. So exactly. Me too. So this is the thing. The people that say that are either not a parent themselves, or they're bad parents and they hang out with bad parents and they don't see the good parents because you know it don't fit in the mold. It don't fit in their circle.
Right.
But it's a lot of black men that's there for their kids. You know, it's a lot of black men that wants to be there for their kids, but their baby moms just won't allow it.
Yeah.
Or they cop callers, or the moment they don't get their way.
That was the next thing I was going to say, Desmond, is that, or you're the reason why they're not there. You know what I'm saying? You're the reason why. The person that's saying, oh, there's no good fathers out there, is typically the reason why that person is not involved in their life. Whether it be, like you said, cop car. I had a boy that his ex-wife set him completely up. Told him to come to the house to go see his son. He hadn't seen his son in months. And was like, yeah, you want to come see your son? Yeah, come to the apartment on Tuesday, blah, blah, blah. He walk in the apartment. She's like, oh, the door's open. Go ahead in. He goes in and she called the cops and told him that he broke in and got a restraining order. And then he couldn't see his son. And then when they went to court, he lost the case. You know what I'm saying? Like there's women and there's men who do things too. But this is the story I got. So I don't want nobody in my DMs talking about men do this too. Please, I'm gonna let you know right now, young lady, whoever is going to send that to me, that I'm not saying that men don't do it also. I'm saying I'm giving my story. There you go. Thank you. I'm trying to stop the smoke already.
It takes
there you go.
It takes two to tangle. So at
not
the end
true.
Of the day, it does. You know.
But let's look at it this way. You know,
it take two to tango, but.
Let's look at it this way, Chef. Like, you know, it's like let's go to the hood. You know, people that's drug dealers that be in the streets like that. they're there for their kids, and they get that acknowledgement from their kids' mom and their family that, oh yeah, they're there for the kids until they get back. Then they get back and they locked up, and now they saying they're a deadbeat. How that make sense? You wasn't saying that when you was accepting that drug money, right? When the kids had everything they can ask for and then some. You wasn't saying it then. You gonna say it when he get back. So that goes back to what you were saying about being toxic, right? You attracted to that fast lifestyle until it's not going your way, and then all of a sudden now you want to play the victim. Now you want to point the finger. You want to project, right? And that's not fair. So it's a lot of things in life people just don't take in consideration, and and it's just getting harder. Like now, everybody's like robots and stuff. Nobody thinks no more. There's no more critical thinking in life anymore. So it's crazy. It's a lot of black men that's there for their kids, man. So that's one thing that I'm so sick and tired of hearing. You know what I'm saying? So, um, now sticking with that a little bit, why do you think society try to separate men and women in black communities?
Men.
Huh? So why do you think
men are the key and supposed to be the foundation of the relationship, of the marriage? Rodney said earlier, when you think about Adam and Eve, and I'm not even gonna get biblical right now because we didn't touch on the faith thing, but when you think about it, persuasion came through the woman first, and so God gave Adam the order to do certain things and how to do it. And so when you look at that, that's the man is the foundation. The man is supposed to hold the structure, the standard of how it's supposed to be, and do it well according to what God has called them to do. And that's not just an opinion. That's if you got a strong man, you're gonna have a strong family that they're gonna stick together. They're gonna be loyal. They're gonna respect, because the father is going to teach respect. He's going to honor the wife, honor the mother, and he's going to teach respect. Everybody's going to have a respectful mindset, a loving mindset, a humble mindset. Doesn't mean that the children are going to act up and the father's not going to chastise them. Yes, but in a way that's according to how it's supposed to be for that household. And I think discipline is about love. You have to be able to discipline your children in love. And then you could just think about this too also, is that when your children grow up and they see mommy and dad, that's all they know. If they see daddy loving on mommy, then they know what love looks like. Then they know what respect looks like. And so when the children grow up and they see daddy standing with utmost respect and respecting mommy, guess what? They grow up like that. They grow up what they see. They grow up and they begin to speak like that. And so when they see that, that's how they're going to grow up. And I think that's the most important thing. It's not about saying that women are not most important. God said that a woman is helpmeet. And when they come together, they become one. But not only they become one, they become a team. A team of two is better than one. And so when they come a team and they stuck together as one, they strong. They have a unit that's strong. So the kids don't go to mom and say, well, daddy said this. No, what did daddy say? Strong. You know what I'm saying? So the man, he holds the standard, and the standard of love and respect and honor. They honoring mommy. And they go and talk about things. Do they have arguments? Do they have disagreements? Yes. But they do it in a way where the kids won't look and say, that's how love is? Oh, that's showing love.
You're clouding their judgment, right? But I just want to chime in real quick. What you said before, like it takes two, right? Same thing. The mother got to respect the man as well. It ain't no such thing as just the man just respecting the woman and the woman disrespecting the man, and you just no. A man don't deserve that abuse either.
Oh, no.
That's Tracy. Tracy does that all the time. I love Tracy's comments.
I know, right?
Hilarious.
What's up, Trace?
Yeah, usually she say your kids are still at daycare.
Yeah.
Come pick them up. CPS has been called. Yeah, she's funny.
So that's why I'm also a big advocate for, like, even if the relationship don't work out and you're not together no more, whenever you're around the kids, you're still supposed to come together as if y'all were together. You know what I'm saying? You have to still be a team. You got to be one unit. You got to be cohesive. You got to be on one accord, because otherwise you're just creating disarray and confusion within your child. And they're not going to grow up knowing what love is. And when you grow up not knowing what love is, you can't give the proper love.
Hey, Rod. I said Roddy. No, D. Yo, you just said something that was tough right now. I'm about to show you what I mean. Just think about this, parents and everybody that's listening. The children, when they grow up, they love mommy and daddy equal. There is no difference. I'm talking about when they children, they love mommy. But now, guess what? When they are separated, guess what? It's like you pulling apart that love. They love daddy. Where's daddy? Is mommy the same thing? Where's mommy? It's a part of them that's pulled away. And trust me, it affects them mentally, physically, because all they know is mommy and daddy, and they see a love that they have for mommy. They see a love that they have for daddy. And so parents, when you say, oh, I can't deal with this, never take your child away from the dad or the mom, because at the end of it, regardless of how you may feel, it's important that they have both of you. You got to learn how to share that love, because guess what? When they grow up, guess what? If you don't want them to not have this loving, kind heart, guess what? You got to do that. You got to work that together. And then you said that, and that's what that. If you think about it, I was like that. You know what I'm saying? I was like that. So I'm speaking from experience. When my mom and my dad separated, bruh, it was like, yo, what's going on? They separated. So I'm like, yo, I put my dad on a pedestal. I constantly love my mother because my mom was always there for me. But at the end of the day, yo, my dad was on the pedestal. I put him on the pedestal. You know what I'm saying? And I wasn't there. I was with moms. I was with my mother for a while. But my mother, she was she always cared no matter what. She always kept us together. She always kept us, you know what I'm saying, under the same love. Even though I felt like she didn't love me like she loved the rest of them. But I grew out of that, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, let me get back to what I'm saying. It's about how the children look at mom and dad. They love them equal. They're not taught unless you start saying, well, daddy ain't this. He ain't coming. And now what you do, you build up resentment. And so, but when they grow up, they only love mom and dad and they love you. That's it. And so it's important to be together. It's important to, like you said, co-parent. Nowadays, these parents don't know how to co-parent. Co-parent is important. You can go on with your life and enjoy your life, co-parent. Like, look, okay, you will have this month or this for the whole summer. All right, see you later. And the man got to man up and say, all right, I got him for the summer, and you got to stick it out no matter what. Whatever come up, don't call mommy. You got to stand up and do the things that she do for the 8 months.
I just want to add, like, when we say the word co-parent don't mean the relationship is over and you're not together. Because when you're together, when you're physically together with your significant other, that's still co-parenting, right? Co just means two. Like you so it's still co-parenting. So you still gotta co-parent in healthy relationships, and you just gotta find that balance. It's like, to add what you were saying, it's like, if you have a car accident or something, or and you lose a limb, like a leg or arm, and you try to operate, it's not the same. And that's how it is with the kids. They need both limbs. You got 2 arms, 2 feet, 2 eyes, right? It's 2. So you got two sets of parents. You got the mother and your father. So you got to think about it that way. Try to drive a car and play sports with just one arm or something. Right. And it's the same thing with kids when you separate that household. That's why I'm against broken homes. Right. I'm all for keeping it together as much as possible. Now, if it's not going to work, it's just not going to work. But so all good. So, I mean, for me, like, the easiest way to disturb the distribution of Black wealth from generation to generation is to eliminate the nuclear family. Right. Y'all agree with that?
I agree with that. I agree with the fact that if you want to hold anybody down, it's the best thing. It's the best way to do it, no matter who it is. So to answer your question, I had 2 answers: one biblically and one just the government and what has been done. That setup has been plagued and done in the Black society for now almost for centuries. You know what I'm saying? When when we were slaves, they separated families, husbands, wives, kids from each other. Now, now the government then in the 70s implemented welfare, and only in the black, in the black area they did that, where they separated, where they started telling women that they can be strong and you don't need a man, and you can't have a man in your house, and the government will take care of you. You know what I'm saying? That was taught in our society, and has been doing exactly what they wanted it to do. And that is destroy us for generations, not just destroy us for right now. It was to destroy us for generations, and it did right. And I believe that the biggest thing that the devil wants to do is separate families, is separate husbands and wives. The biggest thing that the devil wants to do is for us to convince each other that we're enemies and we're not playing and we're not on the same team. I have to remind my wife all the time that we're on the same team, babe. I'm not sitting here trying to tell you this because I'm your enemy, or I want to belittle you in any way, or this, that, and the other. It's the easiest trick that the devil plays, is convincing us that we're enemies. And then once he's done that, we do the rest.
Right.
We forget that we in this together. Like, we started this whole thing to be in this together, and we forget and somehow make each other enemies. And then the rest we do on our own. That's the easiest trick that the devil does. And I believe that he's very good at it, and he's been doing it for years, just like the government is very good at it, and they've been doing it for years too. So, that's just something that we now have to really fight against, and understand that the system is set up for us to fail. It ain't even about it. It ain't even just us. We got to deal with us and the system. We got to deal with us and the devil. We got to deal with us and it, because that's what they want. What's crazy is, you look at it, they've been telling our black women that they need to be strong, black, independent women, get your education, right? They tell white women, you need to look pretty and learn how to get you a rich man. They tell Asian women to learn how to take care of a man, be successful, and do this kind of stuff, and blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? Like, to be pretty and know how to take care of a man. Their culture is totally different. But our culture is the only one that they're telling, no, you got to be independent. You got to be strong. You got to be this. You got to be that, and get your education, because you don't need a man. You can do everything he can do, and you can do it better. We're the only culture that they're telling that. Indian women, no. Black Asian women, no. White women, no. That's the only culture, and that's the whole thing. It's been set up that way. So we as a culture have to realize that, and also understand that it's not true. You know what I'm saying? That is not true. So
and I'm glad you said that, because it's like, again, to add to what you said, was, the black community, we at war with ourselves. So it's hard. It's not just the government, it's ourselves, as you said, right? We put so much limitations on ourselves, or expectations, and it's unrealistic, and it's tough. It's hard to be black sometimes. Black people mistreat black people more than any other race half the damn time.
Yeah, because that's what the thing about it is, we just continue what we were always taught. Mothers are telling their daughters, be independent. You don't need no man, because that's what they were taught. They're just telling what they were taught. You know what I'm saying? And they just keep on going. They just keep on going on it, but they don't see that is just another way of control.
Well, yeah, I'm glad you said that too, because that's exactly what it is. It's about, the government and stuff controlling the narrative, right? It's
the music you listen to.
It's like they paint a picture, or the narrative is, if you take the black father out the home, it's like, oh, see, I told you, that's all they're going to amount to. They're never going to do this, right? So it's like, as long as I'm glad you just said, like, the stuff we listen to, things we watch, because we watch that. We get as black people, we entertained by that stuff. Our black comedians, we make jokes about the black community instead of uplifting each other. And I'm not saying it's something wrong with it, but we laugh about it and we make it normal, right? We make it acceptable, right? And even in the Black culture, we say these things. All these stigmas about Black people, we go out in the world and we say the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Like a couple of days ago, I told somebody, one of my passions is reading. You know what? And the person was Black. You know what they told me? When Black people start reading, I said, "What the fuck?" That to me was crazy, bro. I'm serious. Black people read, but they said it was a joke. But it's like, nah. Somewhere in your mind, it's embedded because you done heard that.
Mm-hmm.
I read all the time. Somebody told me I was a nerd for reading. I said, "That's crazy."
You know what I tell people all the time. What I tell people in that the other people say, if you want to keep something from a Black man, put it in a book.
See, exactly, and that's what we're used to hearing things like that. And like the more you hear things growing up, sometimes you start to believe it, right? And if somebody says I was a nerd, I'm like, I'm far from it. But if that's how you feel, then so big. You can be stuck in the middle all you want to. I'm about prospering.
What's wrong with being a nerd?
I mean, nothing, but I ain't no nerd.
Hey, bro, I love you whether you're a nerd or not, bro. But I'm just saying, sometimes as a culture, we put stigmatisms on things that don't need a stigmatism. Why is being a nerd a negative thing? To me, it's not. I've changed that in my mind. Now I wish in school I was a nerd. You know what I'm saying? Because that nerd is the one who's doing better. Not to say I'm not doing good in life. I am doing good in life, but you get what I'm saying. Like what's wrong with being a nerd? Like, okay. And to me, sometimes I just feel that way, that I've changed my thought process on when people say stuff like that. Like I ask them, they be like, oh, that guy's a, like, all right. Like I had women say, oh, that man's weak. And I'm like, well, what's wrong with that? Like, what do you mean by weak? Like that man's weakness can be somebody else's strength. I don't understand. So like, why do we put these labels as if something is negative? If a person is sensitive, now he's sassy. Like, you know what? I wish I was more sensitive. You know what I'm saying? I wish I was more, unfortunately I grew up in a time where sensitivity was looked up as a negative thing. If you were sensitive, then you was a bitch, or you was, or this or that. You know what I'm saying? I had a friend that cried on my shoulder when his grandmother died. I still regret the fact that I then refused to be his friend.
Oh, that's crazy. Because of that?
Yeah.
Oh, nah.
Because that was my thought process when I was young. I was like, yeah, that Bama weak. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't hang around weak dudes like that. Like he weak. You know what I'm saying? That's what I said. I literally said that and stopped hanging out with him. I still regret it to this day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Huh? Because I didn't have compassion for him. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, my dad died when I was 11. I wasn't crying like you. You know what I'm saying? You cried like a little. That's what I was thinking to myself. And he was literally crying on me, and I was disgusted. Oh, like I wanted to throw up because I felt like I thought this was my boy, and I thought you were strong, and like I thought like now you can't even get in a fight with me, because not in a fight with me, but in the same fight together. Like I don't even want you to have my back no more. But that's how brainwashed I was.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's how brainwashed I was, that this man crying on my shoulder was weakness. And I didn't care that his grandmother died. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I don't care. They're like, you are weak. You cannot hang out with me anymore. You know what I'm saying?
See, that's the thing. People in pain speak louder than people in peace. Okay. You let that marinate real quick, right? People in pain speak louder than people in peace. Because people that's living a peaceful life, serenity, calm, everything's good for them, they don't really need to say too much. You know what I'm saying? So people that's hurting, they the ones that want to lash out and have these outbursts and stuff.
I agree with you.
So that's that. You okay over there, Chef?
Yes, I'm listening.
So all right. So as fathers, we learn from other fathers. Y'all agree with that? I mean, Chef might think that
Nah.
You think you learn from other? I knew he was gonna say that. You don't think you learn from other fathers?
Nah, because like I said, like when it comes down to fatherhood, my dad was great. My dad was.
Isn't that a father?
Yeah, ain't that a
No, he
father?
said,
Other father than
no.
yourself.
He said other fathers. Other fathers you learn from other fathers. No, I had a great
I
father.
thought he meant other fathers than yourself.
Yeah,
Correct?
other than yourself. Yeah.
Like
I
who?
said, as
Like
a father, do you learn from other fathers? Do
yes,
you see other fathers like, oh, I like how he did that. I'm about to implement that in my parenting skills or my parenting style. Do you learn from other fathers? Like, I'm gonna take what he's doing and apply it to myself. That's what I'm trying to say.
no.
No, never. That's crazy.
All right, I'm
So
about to leave.
it's
I value no because look, so what I did, y'all, you right, I'm being serious. Like I
I'm
don't
listening, bro.
oh
I
when it
believe you.
comes
That's
down
the
to this, when it
problem.
comes down to this, what happens is no, seriously. So I value my like Ronnie. When I met his family, I could tell that he, loved his family. I can see his love for his family, for his wife, his children. You know what I'm saying? I could see the love. There's nothing. He's going to raise his family and household his way. So when I respect that, that's what I'm going to do. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to respect that. But for as me though, I had a great structure. I had a great father, and I learned from him, and from him I became what was wrong.
you just contradict yourself. You just said
My dad.
He's a father, though. That's what Rodney was trying to say. He's a father. I said, do you learn from other fathers? So if you learn from your father certain things in life and how to be a good parent, then the answer is
other
yes.
men that father. Are you talking about that, D? Are you talking about other men that are fathers?
Any father other than you?
Any father
I
other
learned
than
from
you?
my father. Yeah, I learned from my father. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's no other fathers that you seen something and you said, I like that.
I mean, how they love their kids, that's about it. Like that's it. Like, you know what I mean?
So let's get away from minimizing and just say yes. Then if you say, well, I love the way they love when they kids,
like,
just say
I
yes,
my
accept it.
Look,
accept it.
His I say, my best friend, his name Emmanuel Green, right? I love the way he loved his girls and his sons. You feel me? Like his passion for loving on his kids. He was doing everything, and he going to go to war for them. So you know what I'm saying? Like the way he do things is the way he do things. Because then if I looked at his life and I said, I ain't doing that, it's like I'll be like being judgmental. That's how he want to structure his home, and I respect that. So that's what I'm saying. Like that's just me. Everybody different. Everybody, like I can't be Rodney. I can't be you. I'm talking about me. You know what I'm saying? I can't say nothing for somebody else. This is just me. Like I got friends that got daughters. Like they don't want to have. Watch this. They don't want to have those talks with their daughters. I didn't. I could talk to my daughters about anything, period, or how you feeling. I'd be like, yo, what's going on? You all right? I know it. See, most men don't like to have those conversations with their daughters. I do. I'd be like, all right, hey, you having sex? All right, you gotta use a condom. That's your body, that's your temple. You gotta see. My dad, I don't have daughters. I mean, my father didn't have. Well, he got a daughter now because she's older now. But growing up, it was 5 boys in the house. It was no girls. So I didn't learn that from my dad. It's the relationship that I had with my father. And guess what? It was transparency, but it was always talking. It was those hard talk. My dad didn't talk to me about sex. That's why when I had sex, when I was 20, he ain't tell me, oh, you gotta have a condom. He ain't had that talk with me. But guess what? Because he did not have that talk with me, I refused to not to have that talk with my daughter. I was like, oh, no, I'm not doing that. We gonna have this talk. When she started getting up there, I said, hey, when you feel a little itchy, a little scratchy, tell me. We gonna have this talk. See what I'm saying? We gonna have that talk. I wasn't about to not have that talk with my daughter. I could care less what her mother thought. I said, listen, your dad, I'm gonna be here. Talking to me about anything. Right now, she don't talk to me about certain things. She's nervous. But I said, you could tell me anything. I will never get mad. I want to lead you in the right path. I want to lead you and help you make the best decisions, the wiser choices. You know what I'm saying? So those conversations I wanted to have with. And so when you say, have I looked at other men? Nah, because guess what? I was really focused on being the best father that I could be. Does Imani spoil you? Yes. But guess what? She the only child when it comes down to me and her mother. So guess what? I didn't have that opportunity. So I was giving her something that I didn't get. I got 5 brothers. So guess what? I didn't get everything that the younger ones got. You know what I'm saying? The middle ones. They got everything. I didn't. I had to fend for myself. I had to be the big brother all the time. You're always in fights. Like, yo, what you say about my brother? I'm fighting. So my view is a little different as a father. And like, that's why it's not to say I'm better than anybody, but my dad did his thing. Now I became a father. When I became a father, my vision was strictly, I wanted her to have God. I wanted to have the right man. I didn't want her moving around. So it's like, I wanted those talks. I want that conversation. Like Ronnie said, I want that smoke one.
Don't point me out, because I was getting ready to play the world's smallest violin just a minute ago. It was like I didn't have nothing. My younger brothers did, but I ain't had nothing.
But it made Rodney. That made me.
Okay.
It made me stronger though. It made me resilient.
Desmond, you had everything?
No.
Oh, okay.
Hell no.
Hey, look. I'm gonna tell you right now. He said no, right? Listen.
I don't want to start no argument. Keep it on.
No, it's an argument.
Keep it on the thing. Keep it on the thing. My bad. My bad. You're right.
He was smaller.
He got everything.
Jordans.
You had
I
nothing.
didn't get them Jordans. Him and my brother, my baby brothers, they all got Jordans. You know what I got?
Oh, I never had a pair of Jordans my whole life.
I
never had I never had Jordans my whole life. I had red and white. No. I had Bobos and cowboy boots growing up, bro.
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell is the favorite.
Yeah.
Oh,
no, I ain't. No, I ain't. I'm shit. Listen, I'm bottom of the barrel.
That's how you when you.
All right. It ain't a competition. I get it. I get it.
Let's go back.
My bad. I was just saying that Chef Dennis had it so tough. Woe is him.
Yeah, nah. He's delusional a little bit, but look, at the end. At the end of the day,
let's go.
At the end of the day, we got to look at things that's going to make us better fathers, right? I think we can all agree to that. Now, my next question is this: do you think that you try to give more to your kids, or be better for your kids than your parents were for you, or not parents, your father was for you?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, for me, yes. There wasn't. Look, it has to be like, you spoil Imani. Imani, look, when I was going through my little divorce, there wasn't a pair of sneakers. Now that was wrong of me, because I I shouldn't have did it like that. But yeah, there was no sneakers, there was no jewelry she couldn't get. I was getting everything for her, because I wanted those things as a kid. I didn't get it. So my daughter, I wasn't able to get it for Jalen. But Imani, she got everything. Every name brand sneaker. It was nothing, no money I wasn't spending on her. I'm keeping it real. But that's hey, watch this. I'm taking accountability, because you know what? That was the wrong thing to do, because I didn't teach her and focus on finance and teach her how to save money so she could get the things that she wants. And so right now, it's tough teaching her that now. I'm teaching her that now. Like, yo, you got to save your money. You know what I'm saying? She come to me for everything. And I'm okay with that. God's blessed me to be able to do those things. And so, but at the end of the day, see, look, I'm taking responsibility on the things I didn't do that could have been better. And that's teaching her how to save and budget her money. See, I was just spending. Yeah. So I didn't focus on budget. I focused on being present and buying her things that she wanted, but didn't focus on teaching her how to budget her money so she could have money for the rainy days. See, I ain't do that. That was something that I look at now in my life. I didn't do, and I'm doing it now. And she's over.
Maybe if you had looked at other fathers, you would have learned that.
I love it.
Hey, I learned from my dad. Work hard, play hard.
I'm just saying. I ain't gonna answer that question. I learned from other fathers. I wanted to say that too. I learned from other fathers. I don't know what he's talking about. I knew I wasn't perfect, so I was trying to get as much advice. Much information, as much as I knew that when I needed to talk to them, I asked everybody. I asked 5 different people, how'd you talk to your child about that? What'd you do? You know what I'm saying? Right. To get that information. Now, I'm not saying, and like I do everything else, I take the good and leave the bad. If they give me bad ideas, I leave them right where they at. But if they got a good idea, I'll be like, okay, I like that. I think I'm gonna do something similar to that. I had to learn that for each one of my children, because each one of my children took discipline differently. I couldn't discipline my oldest the same way as my middle child. My daughter was weird. she was weird. Like when you spanked her, it almost like she enjoyed it. I didn't understand it. I was like, yo, like that's weird. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? She still says it today. She was like, yeah, I had to get dad off of that. You know what I'm saying? Off that spanking, and that's what she did. She like acted like she enjoyed it, so I felt uncomfortable, and then I stopped spanking her. You know what I'm saying? Like, which was a genius move, you know, for her. But I had to figure out other things. So I realized that making her uncomfortable was not, you know, physical discipline wasn't the move. So I had to learn. I had to ask questions. I had to talk to other people. You know what I'm saying? Like, how, you know, what's some other ideas? What's some things that you did in your house? And I learned other ideas. And guess what? I found the right formula. You know what I'm saying? But to go back, what was the question you just asked though? I'm sorry.
Well, the
Went back
question
to
I
that
asked was,
one.
do you try to do better for your kids than your dad was for you?
Well, like I said, I didn't have my dad past 11. My brother became my dad, and yes, I definitely did better than that. Well, not to say that my brother was a great pseudo dad when he tried it.
Mm,
He tried his best, but you know he was going through his own issues at the same
right.
time. You know what I'm saying? So you know, but now, you know, my brother's an amazing person that I have in my life that helps me and helps me in those situations. So becoming better than my dad, I don't really have that platform to like weigh was I better than him type thing because I didn't really get to finish. You know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
but you know, I do know that I learned a ton from my mom when during the times that she was in my life, and especially when I became an adult. My mom was an amazing grandmother and
Mm,
an amazing mom for an adult son. You know what I'm saying? Like when my dad passed, she had her time. My mom had lupus. She had some what you call. She ended up in the hospital for like 2 or 3 years because she basically
mm,
had like what is it called? Like her body started because the stress from when my father died suddenly. Nobody. It wasn't he went to work and died. It was like gone. You know what I'm saying?
right.
So that broke her, and my
Right.
mom took some time. She was in the hospital for some years or so. Like I didn't get back into my mom's care until I was 16, maybe 17. My father died when I was 11. So
Right.
I was all over the place from those ages of 16 to 17. I mean 11 to 17, I was all over. You know what I'm saying? So but when I did get back with my mom was amazing. But by then she was a different woman. You know what I'm saying? She wasn't drinking. My mom was a woman of God by then. You know what I'm saying? And she was amazing. You know what I'm saying? And she was an amazing mother, amazing grandmother, and things like that. So if I put that against it, I feel like I have a lot of her traits now that she displayed to me then. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I appreciate all of them. You know, my mom was at that time she was so amazing. It would be hard to surpass her in my opinion. So I just
Gotcha.
do my best to emulate.
So that's a perfect segue for what my next question. Being that you lost your father, at an early age, who taught you how to be a man?
Trial and error, but mainly my brothers. But my brothers were addicts,
Mm,
so I didn't because my brothers were addicts. I was not into drugs, like
right.
smoking drugs. Um, I did go deep into alcohol, but because they were addicts, it really set me to be something other than them. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like I did not want to live that life. You know what I'm saying? At all. I was 40 before I smoked something. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? Because I didn't want to smoke anything ever because I saw my brother smoke. He was doing PCP, crack. He was on all of it. You know
gotcha.
what I'm saying? And I saw that so much, that I would not smoke even a cigarette. So anyway, to make that long story, to make that short, I forgot what I was going. What was the question?
Well,
So,
who taught you how to be a man?
oh yeah, it was a lot of trial and error. Believe it or not, I don't know. I can't say nobody specifically taught me. I took a lot of different people. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was different people that taught me. Like, I took a little bit from this person. My best friend's father, I took some from him. I took some from my brothers. I took some from my pastor, my youth pastor, who's my pastor now. I took some from a lot of the great men that were in my life at that time. I took a little bit of, I would say I took a little bit of each one of them.
Got you. What about you, Chef? Who taught you how to be a man?
My dad.
Your dad?
But like I said earlier, it was family oriented. So I had a couple of men in my life that I looked up to, and they saw greatness in me. It was my dad, my grandfather, my uncle, both my Uncle John and Uncle Ricky. It was always, like I said, holidays, spending time together. All I see, that's all I know is their wives, them together, their kids together. So you know what I'm saying? So that's all I'm saying. It was the same thing, same structure. Husband and wives, the kids in the house. Everybody had a house, so we spent the night over there. So that's what I saw. And I didn't see arguing. Did they argue? Maybe they did. I didn't see it. We went downstairs, playing, like being like kids. So growing up, that's what I saw. So that's what now look at me now. It's my second marriage and my last marriage. But that's what I know. Marriage. God see that's honorable. And so that's what I do. That's why I'm big on talking about marriage. I'm big on talking about relationship, big on talking about not having sex before marriage. It's a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? So when I look at the structure, that's the structure that I'm going to tell people about and how to navigate in your relationship or your marriage, going into a marriage. You know what I'm saying? So that's what when you talk about being a man, yeah, I had great role models. They were great role models for real. Like, I'm the man I am today because of all of them.
Right.
And I seen they made it. They didn't say it, but they saw greatness in me. And I already knew, growing up, I had a call in my life. It was like I walked into it, you know what I'm saying? And I really did. Like now, I was talking to Ronnie the other day, man. Let me tell you something. My dreams, and I'm not just saying this, I'm serious. All the dreams that I had for myself, like, I love being a chef, but now that's fading away. I want to do what God has called me to do. Like I want more broken people to come to Christ. And I'm not just saying that, I'm being serious. Like I do. I got a heart for that. That, if I never become, this greatest chef, I don't care anymore. I mean that. Like, I'm saying this on the platform here. I say this on my platform. I really don't care anymore because the world we live in right now is broken. And, if God's going to use me, I'm going to be the vessel that God used to help people to come to Christ. I would love to. I'm going to do that. I say about to be a pastor to do that either. You know what I'm saying? Going out there, doing missionary work, doing evangelist work, and just doing that, just seeing people come to Christ. You know what I mean? That's my big thing. I wanted a food truck, I wanted a restaurant, but now I'm being honest. Like, my heart different now. Like, it's
I'm
different.
glad you gave up on it.
It's
you would have never been the best chef.
So. Okay, I'll take that. I know how God built me for this because I know that comes with the territory. So I go like this. I don't let that bother me. You feel me? I let it go. Yeah. Like, get off me. Get out of here. What you say, D? The devil. Get out of here. Not saying Rodney the devil. I don't let that bother me, man, because, my heart posture is different. I wanted to be different. You know what I'm saying? I still got working to do. I still got how I talk to people, how I communicate. You know what I'm saying? On different levels. We talk about manhood, fatherhood, faith, masculinity, and healing. Come on, that's a whole thing right there in the whole nutshell. You know what I'm saying? My worship is different. You know what I'm saying? How I love my family is different. The ones who want to love on each other, let's love. The ones who don't, okay, I still love you, but I love you from a distance.
Right.
Because guess what? They're not in that same energy level that I am. And I get it. I'm respecting their space. And so we talk about fatherhood. Man, listen. That's what I want to be, the better version. Like, for real. Like, Rodney, that's it. I'm saying this on the platform. I'm gonna say this in the world. When I get out there and start doing these things every day, I could care less how they think of me. Because guess what? I know what's in my heart. I know what God want me to do. And it's gonna be a lot of tears. a lot of suffering, a lot of pain. But guess what? I'm ready to go through it. I'm sitting here last night and today, I'm sitting there watching The Passion of Christ again. I'm like, why God, man? I'm saying, why you got me watching this again? He's like, yo, I want you to sit there and watch this. I'm serious. Passion of Christ. Like, I don't want to see that. I'm being honest with you. I don't want to see it. But guess what?
I don't like subtitles.
Huh?
Nothing. I'm not.
Hey, right. I don't. Leave you alone, bro. No, I don't. But guess what? I'm compelled to sit there and watch it again.
Oh, I got it.
But you feel me? And I'm being transparent about it because you know what? What it is working on my heart. Like, do you understand the things that he had to go through? Guess what? We gonna have to go through those same things. Not dying on the cross, but we gotta carry our cross every day. We gotta go through stuff as a husband, as a father, as a black man. We gonna have to go through stuff. Guess what? You gotta be strong enough to go through the storm. You got to be strong, resilient. We gonna have a lot of heartaches, a lot of breaking, a lot of it. And guess what? I'm all for it. Sometimes you're gonna be alone. Sometimes you're gonna be in the dark by yourself. God said, I want you there for a reason. There's a purpose. So you gonna think everybody else not dear, but he said, I got you. I'm not saying this to saying I'm just preaching. I'm for real. Like that's it's coming out of me. Like I stepped back for some years, just chilling, just not saying anything. I wasn't even doing 3 years into the podcast. I wasn't doing nothing because my heart had got hardened. I was like, man, God, man, he ain't doing what he's supposed to do for me. But now my voice is back. Like my energy is back. My zeal is back. Like that's what it is. It's not gonna be no like, oh no, he don't know what he talk about. Guess what? Okay, you don't want to listen? That's cool. But guess what? Right. My heart says, I want you to receive something from God, not from me. Not my voice, his voice. But let me go ahead and sit down. Let me sit back. See, Rodney, this is how I was chilling, man. I was good.
Hey, before I go to the next question, I just want to say this, because I'm all for giving people their flowers and stuff, and giving people their just due and their credit, right? So my friend Jahira right here, right? She's one of the ones that's bringing me to Christ, right? We talked about having Bible study and things of that nature. So she just was in the comments when Chef was talking. She said the reward at the end is worth it. But I have to give her credit. She's one of the ones where when I was broken and I was down and out, she's been my strength at times, So I just want to give her credit and her flowers. So let's talk about the cost of being a provider for a brief second, right? I have a good question, and Chef be long-winded sometimes, so I'm gonna go to you, Rodney. Can you be a leader? Can you be a leader and still put yourself first?
I think as a leader, you have to put yourself first, but there's a few things in leadership. Okay, one, because you can't lead unless you take care of yourself. You know what I'm saying? But you got to make sure that you are being exactly what you say you're going to be. You know what I'm saying? Like for me, in learning how I'm still learning how to be the leader, and it took me to really go by myself and destroy everything and rebuild the way God wanted me to build it for me to be the leader that I am now. You know what I'm saying? Because now I'm a leader that I'm not worried about whether or not you agree with me as a follower. Because if God tells me what to do, I'm going to do it. And it don't matter if people understand it. I don't need your understanding. I don't need your agreement. When I quit my job, they thought I was going crazy. You know what I'm saying? Even my job was like, nah, bro, you don't got no other job. I was like, nah, I don't. But I'm stepping out on faith. And they're like, faith? You know what I'm saying? Like, what? And you know what? I'm still in that process of figuring everything out. But guess what? There's not a day that I regret it. You know what I'm saying? There's not a day that I regret it. And God has come through for me. You know what I'm saying? But being a leader, you got to take care of yourself first. You know what I'm saying? Because now I'm not saying that you neglect your kids or your family to do it, But
Right.
you have to take care of yourself, because if you don't take care of yourself, then you can't lead. You know what I'm saying? If you're depressed, if you're in, if you're if you're in some type of denial or things like that, then you're not leading. You may think
Right.
you're leading, but here's the one thing I had to tell my wife. If I'm not leading, that means the devil is.
I like that. I like that.
Because if I'm not the leader of this household, it don't matter about anything else after that. The devil is leading.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So if my wife says, "Oh, well, I'm the leader of this household," and to be honest, you're not. The devil's leading you. Because if
Mm.
I'm not the leader, then that, because that's the way it's written. That's the way it is. That's the way it's supposed to be. It's God, me, you, and then so on. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm not the leader, you're not the leader of this household, then the devil's the leader. It's that simple.
Mm.
And a
I
lot of
like
people
that.
don't want to say that because they feel like, and a lot of men allow, and I'm gonna say this, and I know, please don't go on my DMs, ladies. Okay. But
Yeah.
a lot of women feel, well, I can be just as good as you. Okay. I'm not saying you can't. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? I'm not saying you can't, but that's not the right way. That's not how it's supposed to be done. And if I'm doing it right,
Right.
then it's right. It's simple. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter what you think. You know what I'm saying? Like for instance, if I know that I'm taking my son to youth group and you tell me he gotta do something else, then yeah, like I'm not gonna argue with you. Now we going to youth group. I don't care about none of that stuff you talking about, because God ain't gonna tell me not to take him. You know
Right.
what I'm
Right.
saying? Like I'm doing something to better him. I'm doing something to better this. In my opinion, nothing else goes before that. You know what I'm saying? Nothing else goes before that. Me leading my son into to Christ and the things that I'm doing with him. Nothing else goes before that. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And so you can't convince me of anything else, or anybody else can't convince me of anything else. Because there's people that'll look at your household and try to judge. You know what I'm saying? But I don't care about none of them. I don't care about that. I don't care about no other voices but God. And when
Right.
you get that strength and you get that full, but it took me literally getting to myself in creating a space where I hear God clearly. You know what I'm saying? Where I don't hear all the other voices. I don't hear the voices of the government, the voices of even my wife. I hear God's voice. Now, if God and my wife are agreement, then cool. It's all, we move on together. She can take the credit. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm.
credit don't mean nothing to me. As long as I know I'm doing what God is asking me to do, then I know I'm the leader that I'm supposed to be. No matter what anybody else thinks, says, looks at, doesn't even matter. I'm doing what
Gotcha.
God told me to do. So there you go.
Gotcha. What about you, Chef? Can you still be a leader and put yourself first?
But first, your provision comes from God, and so wisdom, you definitely will be first, because God is going to talk to you first and tell you where to go and how to move. And so the direction comes from God first through you. And so if you are a man of faith, your direction is definitely going to go through you. So you're going to go back to your family and tell the direction to your family which way we're going to go, how we going to live, how we going to provide, how are you going to provide for the family. So your provision comes from God. So you have to be first, like Rodney says. First is God, then it's you, then it's your wife. And so your provision definitely comes from God. And with the provision, you are the leader. So you are the one who sets the tempo of how things are supposed to go. And you have to be by, first of all, a leader is most likely by itself when he's speaking to God. And so, because that's where your wisdom comes from, that's where your provision comes from God. So you will have to be able to have a closeness with God. That's the relationship part. Rodney always talks about, it's the relationship. So your relationship with God comes through you. That is your wisdom. That is your knowledge. And with that, it comes from you first. And so You as the leader, as the king of your home, God speaks to you and he orders your steps. He's your mouthpiece. And so and that's if you are following Christ. That's if you are strong in your faith. That's the relationship part, because it comes from the heaven and it comes to you. And so you, your wife, and your children are behind you. You are the covering of your family. And so, being that you are the covering, guess what? God holds you at a greater standard than your wife. Greater. So you have to fall in line the way God tells you. So, like we all say, trial and error. We all say trials and tribulation. We all say that. Yes, we go through that. And so that's why you want your provision to come from God. And that's where your relationship has to be strong. You have to build that up first with you. So you and your relationship with God has to be built up. It has to be stronger so you can really hear the audible voice of God speaking to you and telling you what to do and how you're supposed to lead your family. Because we make mistakes as humans. We're going to make mistakes. It's inevitable for us not to make mistakes. And so when we make those mistakes, that's because we're not listening to God. We're not listening to his voice. We're saying, you know what, I'm going to do it myself. And God said, okay, I got the way for you. I got the lineup for you. I got everything you need. But we say, nah, I'm going to do it my way. When you say you do it your way, you go make a mess of it. And God said, he don't even say, I told you. He just go, okay, here's the
way. God never told Eve not to eat from the fruit.
That's it. Told Adam.
God never told Eve.
Gotcha. No. So
no, Rodney. Nah, I'm thinking I ain't going there.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. I know this one. Come on, what you about to say?
Rodney, no. He did tell Eve, but what happened was listen.
Go ahead.
What he did was he told Adam first. He told them not to eat from the forbidden fruit, but he told Adam first. Yes.
You read it again? Read it again.
Yeah, I'm positive. All right, we're not gonna go into that because this is not the session for that. But
I'm positive.
I got okay. I got you.
Read it again. A lot of people make that mistake. The problem is a lot of people do make that mistake. A lot of people make the mistake to think that God told Eve. He never told Eve. Adam told Eve what God said. He never, because you got to remember, Adam was there with the fruit before Eve. He told Adam. And then Adam told Eve. He didn't tell Eve, because even when the serpent came to her, he questioned that, did you hear God tell you this? He questioned that. That's how he got deceptive. That's how he got into it. He was like, so, and then he changed it, because it wasn't that, because God said not to eat from fruit. I can't remember, but he changed the wording of what Adam even told her. And I'll refresh it later, because he said, did Adam tell you would die? Truly, you will not die from eating the fruit. And he never said that. So, but anyway, we can talk about that later. I'm sorry. I just wanted to make sure I'm 100% positive on it. Trust me. I've done enough study on that one.
Yeah, we definitely can touch on that at a later time, because Sunday a big day for me, and for the viewers that don't know what I'm talking about, man. I said I would never step foot in the church. And this Sunday, I am going to Chef Dennis, which is my older brother. I'm going to his church Sunday morning, and and we'll see what happens. So that's a
great things are going to happen. I'm excited for it.
A new journey, and it's going to be something different for me. So for the viewers, that's what's happening Sunday morning. You know what I'm saying? So let me ask you this: is the primary role of a father to be the breadwinner, or an equally involved caregiver? Any one of y'all can jump on that first.
I'm sorry. Ask one more time just to make sure.
Is the primary role of a father to be the breadwinner or an equally involved caregiver?
I would say neither. The primary is to be the leader in your household. And and that's pretty much it. Whether that's a breadwinner, I feel like for everybody it looks different, but one is not equal, less equal. You know what I'm saying? Right. So, for instance, we talk about the whole, it's God, the husband, and then it's the wife. That doesn't make the wife less equal. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? That just gives order. In everything, you need order. If there's no order, then there's confusion. So
Right.
just because it's given an order doesn't mean that the wife is less equal. You know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, there's God, Jesus, the Holy Spirit. That's the order. Doesn't mean that they're less equal. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't mean that each person has a role, each person has a part. You can't get to God without going through Jesus. The Holy Spirit is the messenger that all of us have in us. So they
Right.
all play a part. You know what I'm saying? They all play a part, and it doesn't make any one of them less equal. You know, all three of them are necessary. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? So for me, I believe that, and this is what I believe, and I'm not trying to argue with Chef Dennis, but I believe that the same sacrifice as God, Jesus, the Holy Spirit, is the same sacrifice as the triangle in marriage. Marriage, two people come together in front of God and build a covenant. God is still the top of the triangle. You know what I'm saying? Then you have the husband who, in my opinion, represents Jesus. Because Jesus sacrificed himself for his children, which I believe that us as a husband, that's our position. You know what I'm saying? To sacrifice ourselves for our children and our family. The Holy Spirit is within all of us, in that the Holy Spirit nurtures you. It talks to you when you're in trouble. It talks to you when things are going wrong. It talks to you in this what you call it. And I believe that's the wife's role. The wife's role is to be the nurturer, the person who is in there when they're in trouble, when they're crying in the corner, and this and that and the other, and they come and talk to them. And what you call it? I believe that the perfect the marriage resembles the Holy Trinity, and that's how the Holy Trinity compares to the marriage. Jesus was the person that had to sacrifice himself for his children to so that we all can grow and come to God. And I believe that that's the husband's role, but all three are necessary.
Right.
So
Now that's I was gonna say that's powerful. So people that know me know I'm big on poetry, and the way you just painted that picture just now, it was like poetry in motion. I loved it. You know what I'm saying? You said so the man's supposed to sacrifice himself for his family. I love that. You know,
yeah, and
Chef,
that's it. But all three are just as important, and that's what I'm trying to say. So I don't. When I say that there is an order, it doesn't mean that one is less equal to the other. They're all necessary, in my opinion.
gotcha.
So
Now, Chef, how would you have answered that question? Or the primary role as a father, is it to be the breadwinner of the house, or is it to be equally involved as a caregiver?
All right, so I won't get anybody confused. I'm gonna speak from my experience. Um, no, I'm serious. I'm gonna speak from my experience.
Shoot.
As I grew up, I see my father work hard, grind, right? And that's all I knew, him working and working and working and working. So all I see him paying the bills, taking care of everything, going on trips. Was it always like that? No, was not always like that. You know, my stepmoms made good money. So when she made money, she brought it to the house and it made it better. And so what I mean by now, I'm going to go into how I would answer that question. If you as a man are lined up with God, you are going to be the breadwinner financially, because there are things that you have to do. There, I give you an example. I had to go to culinary school so my finance can be increased. I had to work a full-time job and go to school full-time. And so when I did that, it made my finance better. So I did the necessary things. I went to school, graduated from school, culinary school, to increase my finance, increase my experience. So I did the necessary things so I can be able to have the money and the necessary things that I need to support my family, to keep them at whole. Because I said my experience, I had to pay child support and take care of family, but I did it because I did the necessary things so I could not just stay afloat, but be good because I did the things. And as a man, if you're doing the things that you're supposed to do, whether it's going to school, working a full-time job, busting your butt, working all type of hours, working 2 jobs, and still coming home and making sure that your family good, then you're doing the things that you're supposed to do, and you'll be able to maintain being the breadwinner. And things happen. Your wife
Right.
can be the breadwinner for some time, and you might have to go back to school. And she holding down the bills, but guess what? It doesn't mean that you have to stop being resilient. Stop doing the things that you need to do so you could get back on top. Doesn't make you better. Doesn't make her better than you. No. Excuse me. Things happen. So now when we look at that, society tells you breadwinner, but when you have a mindset to say we equal parts, we bring something different to the environment of us, our marriage or our relationship. Nah, it's no such thing as breadwinner. It's like we do this
Right.
together. We a team.
On
Look,
one accord.
one accord. It's like, just because I make this is my business. I can say this. Just because I make more than my wife doesn't mean I'm that okay. You're gonna do what I tell you to do because I make more money. Nah, we do it as a team.
See, so not to cut you off, but this is my thing. So I like to tell this to a lot of people. A lot of people get hung up on the financial thing, and they say, "Oh, I make more." Da, da, da. So they like to feel like they dictate. But this is the thing. If you're in a relationship, you should be in that relationship with the best intentions,
Yeah.
right? With the right intentions. So when you're in a relationship, it doesn't matter who makes the most money, because guess what? Y'all in a relationship. So guess what? Your money is her money and vice versa. So that's y'all's money. You eating, we eating. You winning, we all winning. And that's how it should be. It's a
No,
team. That's how a
right.
relationship should supposed to be. Now, if you're in a relationship and you don't see it like that, you need to get out that relationship. Or somebody need to recognize that you're a walking red flag and say, I'm out of here.
No, yeah. But you got to think about this. That's the mindset. Because if
Yeah.
you bring it home, every 2 weeks, you bring it home 1,300, and then every 2 weeks your husband bring it home 4,500, and you only bring it 3,200. Now look, isn't that unbalanced? But it's all
It's not,
together, right? No, it
we
is
are together.
unbalanced.
It's no, y'all put it together. So
All right,
therefore, it's a
well,
balance. The common
that's
ground
right.
is the teamwork.
That's why I said it's got to be mindset, because if you
Yeah.
making if you making all that money, it's got to be like, all right, we doing things together. Not, oh well,
Yeah.
it's in there, so let me just take it out. Nah, that's mindset. That's if I'm putting it all in there, it's like, all right, we doing this together. All right, it's communication. Like, all right,
Right.
babe, we got to pay this. All right, dude, I want to do this. Is it okay? Communication. So when that
You're right.
mindset got to be on one accord, and
You're
so
right.
when the mindset
Because
is on one
otherwise,
accord, yeah.
no, my bad. I was about to say, otherwise, if somebody's just saying, "Oh, there's money in there," I'm gonna keep taking, that's called abuse, and
Yes.
nobody should have to
Right.
be subjected to abuse, no way,
No.
shape, or form. Right.
Exactly.
So once you have that mindset that, okay, I'm not gonna just be greedy and I'm gonna take, because now I'm not just hindering or being a detriment to him. I'm being a detriment to us, because I'm diminishing and all that. And for what? For a short-lived moment.
Yeah.
You got to think big picture, and that's why it's important to get in a relationship with the right person. You got to have a good selection. You
Yeah.
know. So,
Mindset.
but look,
Definitely.
Rodney got me my bag because he said when he was speaking that poetry and stuff. So I just want to say this, man. Speaking about God, man. In my opinion, God didn't intend for the church to be perfect, right? The church was always supposed to be a hospital, right? And I'm speaking poetry here. It's an analogy. So the problem is that we don't have any patience anymore. A lot of us, we all think that we're doctors. We think, in other words, we feel like we have all the answers. You know what I'm saying? Church is supposed to be about healing. That's why I said church is supposed to be a hospital. It's supposed to be about healing each other, healing the next man. It's not about, oh, I got it all figured out. You know, what do y'all think about that?
Should I go first, Chef Dennis?
Yeah, go
You
first.
know what I'm gonna say, right?
Go first.
Oh.
Go first.
All right. Okay.
Go
So I'm
first.
gonna go this first. There is no perfection. There's no perfection. Okay. The only thing that is perfect is God. That's it. God, Jesus, that's it. The Holy Spirit, that's the only perfection. The church was created to be two people coming together, is the church. It don't need to be a building. It don't need
Right.
to be anything. But even to go even simpler than that, The problem is, I feel that people always put too much credit on something that God never intended it to be. Okay. The church, the Bible, a pastor are all tools. They're
Right.
not, none of them in its essence is perfect. Anything that is a tool can be used two ways. It can be
Mm.
used for good, it can be used for bad. It don't matter what tool it is. The Bible can be used for good and it can be used for bad. You'll have those people that say, well, people use the Bible and religion to hold people in captive for years. Absolutely. That is true. Because anything can be that is a tool can be used for both things. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? It don't matter what it is. So no, there is no perfection. You know what I'm saying? There's no perfection. So they're all tools. The biggest thing is you have to build a relationship with God. You build a relationship with God, and then those tools can be used in the correct way. You'll
Mm.
find the right church. You'll start reading. I'm reading the Bible now. It's totally different than when I read it as a teenager. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like it's totally, I'm not even seeing, I'm seeing when I read a proverb, I see so many different things that I didn't see before. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or a parable or any of the stories. Like I just told you about the Adam and Eve. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm seeing it differently now. I'm seeing that this is not just the story about how Eve messed it up for all mankind, because that's what I thought it was. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't. It isn't that at all. You know what I'm saying? First, it ain't even the first creation destruction thing. So anyway, but let's just go. But like I was saying, the all of them are tools. So the church is a tool. Now, so the church can be used in a bad way, the church can be in a good way. And I have a specific issue with churches who only want the saved. The
Mm.
church is not for, like right now, the church is not for me. I am to
Gotcha.
be a servant. I'm already saved. I am to be a servant in the church. I'm not going there anymore to save me. I'm here. You know what I'm saying? So now I should be a servant. The problem is people forget that the church is to serve. It isn't there to be, anything else than service for God. So when you
Mm.
come in there, and like you said, I do agree with you that it should be a hospital. When a person come in there and they're broken in there, it is now my job, because I consider myself a man of God, to now serve people who need help, to
Mm-hmm.
now serve people who need this or need that. And my pastor says all the time, I'm a servant. You'll never see my name on stuff, because I'm just a servant of God. And that's what I want to be too. I just want to be a servant. I'm not in here, So when you go to those churches and you see a homeless man come in there, or you see a person, don't look at me like that, Chef Dennis. Yes, I know I wasn't serving before. I'm doing it now. So leave me
What you
alone.
mean? Oh my
So
God!
leave me alone. I
I
told you I
just,
run to the smoke. I ain't like that face.
I
I
ain't
run
saying
to the
that.
smoke.
I
I
just want
told
to
you I
hear
run
you.
to the smoke, sir. I run to the smoke. Anyway, but
I
now,
love it.
yeah, now I'm being a part of it, but it's something that I had to grow into. But like I said, the better my relationship got with God, the more that these things these things are convicted. These things
Mm-hmm.
become things to me. You know what I'm saying? Because I had a huge issue with the church for a long time. You know what I'm saying? I was one of those guys. I'm one of those guys still in my church. I am very standoffish. You know what I'm saying? I don't like people. You know what I don't. And but the great thing about my church is that they do serve. My church is called, we call ourselves a church of different makers making a difference. You know what I'm saying? So in my pastor serves. He serves. I am getting better at serving. You know what I'm saying? And that is what the church is supposed to be. It's supposed to be a place where people who are Christians are supposed to come there and serve, and people who need service come to get the service,
Right.
no
I mean,
matter what it is. So go ahead.
yeah, I mean, church should also be a community as well, and that's something that I think a lot of people need, community, right? And I say community, I mean just a place to gather, just to converse. Maybe you having a bad day, maybe you need to vent to somebody. So that service is in that community. It's being able to open up and express your feelings and thoughts to people, you know. But before you answer that question, Chef, I just want to say, you know, a message I want to put out there is the devil is good at advertising. He really is. You gotta be able to read through the BS, you know? All that propaganda, all that stuff, you got to know what's good and what's bad. I just wanted to put that out there before you answer your question, Chef. So, what was the question?
He was asking about the church and the hospital. He was like,
"Oh, okay." So, what you got to add to that, Chef?
I'm just gonna add to what Roddy said and what you said. That was good that you said as a hospital, but just think about this. See, this is my vision is different and how I see it. Just think about this. You said something that was real profound, D. The enemy has a place where people go to worship. Yeah, he does. You know what his place is?
What's that?
I don't.
The liquor store.
Yeah. Oh,
the liquor store. No. Hey, come on. Let's keep it real. Hey, you go to the liquor store, you start sipping, sip. What happens? If that place not there, you can't do that. But guess what? It's there for a purpose.
You can say that about anything in life. I can't rock with that one.
Okay, you might not rock. Guess what?
You can say
it ain't a place where God wants you to go. Period.
Hey, they sip wine in the Bible, brother.
Listen to what I said. That's not a place where God wants you to go. He do not desire you to go. But he desires you to go to church.
Jesus' first miracle was a personal liquor store. Man, he turned the water into wine. Like, that was a personal liquor store.
Look at the word. Since you use that as an analogy, guess what? That's what we live in right now. People don't believe in God because they have to see it to believe it. If they don't see it, they don't believe it. And so Jesus had to perform miracles because they did not believe who he said he was. So he had to show them, I am the man who I say I am. And guess what? When they saw it, they was astounded. And so today now we got people that don't believe in God. And guess what? They got to see miracles to realize or go through something to understand who Christ is, understand what God is. So they got to go through something, go through some tragedy and say, oh, God, help me.
I hate it when people just give a label to something because sin can happen anywhere. The same sin in the liquor store can happen in the church too.
No.
Like the same sin, it don't matter.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Watch this. Let's break it down. The heart of man is sinful. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So God didn't create that liquor store. Man did. Man did it for a purpose. The heart of the man created the liquor store.
You can sin anywhere.
We're not talking about sin. We talk about the heart of the desire of making a liquor store and what's the purpose of it. The desires. I know. Yeah, I know.
I agree with you. I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you, but I just don't like it when people.
But that's when we gotta keep it real.
But to keep it real means you can sin anywhere. They're like
I didn't say nothing about sin. I said
like I can walk in. How about this? I can walk in the liquor store and not committing. There's people. There are people. I'm not gonna say me because I'm an alcoholic. So, but there are people that can walk in a liquor store and have no intention of drinking the liquor. Like that doesn't mean that. You know what I'm saying? It's just a building. Any building is just as bad as another building.
No, come on.
Depending on how you use it. Like, okay, which one is bad? Which one is worse? The liquor store. Now, this is what you get into. Is the liquor store worse than a meeting place with a KKK?
They both
like, which one's worse? Either way, they're both bad.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? Either way, they both bad. So why are we talking about the liquor store is better than the strip club, or the liquor store is better than the liquor store is way more evil.
Hold up, the strip club is the same thing.
Hold on,
it's
wait
the
a second.
Playground for the intimate.
Let me say something. The liquor store is more evil than a place where people get abortions. Is the liquor store more evil than a place than what is it called? Where people get wick and they're told not to get married together. Any place without God is bad. Like, it don't even matter. Like when you say, oh, the liquor store is a den of iniquity. Like, that could be my next door neighbor's house.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying?
Like talking about the playground of the enemy. That's the playground.
Oh Lord,
that's the
There's
playground.
a lot of playgrounds.
Come on, man. You trying to add? You trying to justify that? It's not a justify.
All right, I'm good.
I'm
good.
Don't,
you will stay with
that. That's right. Don't justify it. Don't try to justify it.
I'm not trying to justify it. I'm just not. I'm not trying to symbolize it either.
But guess what? We said I use.
If you go into the liquor store, you're condemned to hell, Desmond.
Hold up, but I look at the difference. I said we talking about church. We talking about the liquor store. What are you going to gain from going to the liquor store getting a bottle versus what are you going to gain by going to church and really going in with the heart open up and your mind open up to receive what you're receiving at the liquor store? Let me tell me what you're receiving. Be real. What you're receiving at the liquor store.
Right. But listen, I don't really want to go down that rabbit hole right now because we got to close out. But this is what me and Rodney is both trying to say is you can look at anything in life that way. Once you abuse anything in life, you're not going to gain anything from it. So we can't just single out something. And that's the thing. A lot of people have an issue with Christianity because they do stuff like that. You sit there and say, oh, don't do this. Or when you do this, then you're evil, you're sinful. And that's just going to deter people. If you're saying your purpose is to serve God and be a messenger, spread the word. Don't put limitations. Don't put cap on somebody's lives. Don't say, don't do this. And that's the playground for the devil. Don't do that because that's a deterrent. You want to uplift people is what you say. So don't deter people, uplift people, encourage people.
Anything can be a deterrent. Anything can be a playground for the devil. Like, let's not just ban liquor stores. We need to ban everything, anything, because really what you need to do is ban the person with the evil heart, because it don't matter. If I have an evil heart, I can be in church every Sunday and still have an evil heart. You know what I'm saying? I can still do as much damage in church if my heart is where that is to be. You know what I'm saying? If my heart is to do evil, cause confusion, what you call it, this, that, and the other. You got deacons getting women pregnant. You guys, stuff like that and blah, blah, blah. If their heart is evil, it don't matter if they're in the church, the liquor store, on the beach. It don't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's almost like blaming the gun and not blaming the person that pulled the trigger. Like, you're blaming the liquor store. How about you blame the person that's walking in there with the evil heart? That's the person.
So
you know what I'm saying?
When you look at the community, right? You look in the community.
Hey, Chef, we might have to put this on.
Hold on,
because okay, go ahead.
But you got it. Look. You look at perspectives. When you look in the communities, the Black communities, you see a lot of liquor stores versus a lot of libraries. Come on, talk to me. I don't hear you talking about that. You talking about the playhouse, but guess what? A lot of people go to those liquor stores, get drunk, and do things that have their mind all messed up, and then they cause all of this trauma, all of this pain, because guess what? It's there for a purpose. That's what I'm talking about. It's there for a purpose, and it's serving the purpose that is there for. And if you take it out of there, then you won't have so much thing, or so you have something else to go to. I only said the liquor store is because guess what? That's something that in the Black community, it is a lot. It's not a lot of churches on each and every corner, but there is 4 or 5 liquor stores in Black communities. I'm talking about from Chicago to Florida to Jersey to DMV. Come on, stop playing games, man. I ain't gonna take down to that. I ain't gonna take down to that. Let's go, man.
I'm gonna say this respectfully, right? So I don't even know why you brought up the liquor store thing, because you sip as well. So that means you dance with the devil all the time. So we're not gonna talk about the playground because you're dancing in that playground with him.
I never said I never said I never drink. So you can't ever say that.
I say you do.
So you mention that. Guess what? You offended.
Hold on.
You mention that you offended.
No, I'm not. What I said was, what are you talking about?
Why you mention that then?
Hold on.
You brought up the liquor store. You brought it up.
Liquor store.
I'm talking about me going to the store.
Slow down. Time out.
Slow down. What?
You said that's the playground for the devil. And what I said was, because you sip alcohol, that means you dance with the devil in that playground.
Oh, so
you don't criticize the liquor store when you partake in it. That's what I'm saying.
And getting drunk is two different things.
But that was never discussion.
Let it go, bro.
No, before you even condemn, know what you're saying. Know what you said.
You
no,
condemned.
You can't. Listen, I said. I said it is the playground, bro. You can't even mention that to me, bro.
Okay.
You can't even mention that to me.
We got to. Okay. So what I want to say is, right. The reason why we're here today on this platform, right, it's because love was a part of that equation, right? I feel like God has His hand on each one of our shoulders right now, showing us purpose and guiding us, and showing us the right way. We spoke prior to this when about the whole church thing, and I got a little emotional a little bit, and I think that this is God's way of speaking to all of us. I think right now He has His hands on all our shoulders, and He just pushing us and guiding us and showing us what our purpose is. Now, before we close out, I want to say, does anybody want to lead us out with scripture or a prayer?
I mean, I will. I don't care. Chef Dennis, you want to? You want me to do it? You want to do it? I don't.
I'd rather you do it, sir. I love it when you pray.
Okay, here we go.
Okay. All right. Dear Heavenly Father, I thank you for this day. I thank you for waking us all up this morning. I thank you for all the listeners that we have that are being able to hear what it has been said today. I want to just bless that the message that you wanted to come out today will go out there, and the people that needed to hear it will hear it, Lord, and go and make those next steps. I do want to pray for Desmond as he goes on this journey and gets closer to his relationship with you, God, that you will guide him, help him, and guide all of us on the right things to do, the right things to say, the right things to make sure that we accomplish, because we know that anybody that comes to you, Lord, is a great thing, Lord. And we just want to thank to all the people out that are listening to this today. If you seek to have a relationship with God, come to somebody. You can DM me, and we'll talk about it and have that conversation, Lord, or Chef Dennis, or even Desmond, because we know that he definitely has a strong will, a strong way, and great things are to come, Lord, because you are a God that does the best in everything for people, Lord. And I just want to thank you for blessing us today. Thank you for bringing us together. Thank you for this podcast and opportunity to share everything that we have with our different communities, Lord. And I just pray that you will continue to give us the guidance, the strength, and the patience, Lord, to make sure that we take our time and listen to you, Lord. And thank you for all that you've done. Thank you for the blessings. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
There you go.
Appreciate that, Rodney. Tough words. All right. So that's going to conclude today's episode. We hope everybody got something.
Before we go, I do want to say one more thing.
Go ahead.
And Desmond, I mean, since I met you a while back, I've continued to pray for you. I'm excited that you're making these first steps, and that you have come to a point where God is even something that you're seeking. And I do want to say to you that that a lot of people have prayed for you. A lot of people have been hoping and wanting that this would happen, and that tells me. And even when I met you, I felt like God had great things for you. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
I think that you continue down this path, you learn here, and I'm excited to see what God has for you next. So I just wanted to say that to you, brother. And we all can learn from each other. So
absolutely, and well received, man. Well received. But for the listeners, just continue to show support, like, comment, share it. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. You can also subscribe to Chef Dennis's channel, From the Battle to the Glory, on YouTube, or Rodney's podcast is on YouTube as well. It's called Dad Mentality. And just continue to be blessed, and everybody have a great day.
Absolutely.
All right.